It is Thursday, August 11th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back with our three best picks of the day. We got a pick in the Field of Dreams game. We'll talk all about that one. A lot of anticipation for that game. We got our favorite player prop, and we got a no one first inning coming your guys' way.
As always, guys, just do us a real quick favor. Go down and hit that subscribe button. Really helps us grow this channel. You guys are killing it with all the support all season long. So just keep it up. We can't do it without you.
And let's dive into a recap from yesterday. Solid winning day, 2-1 overall. We had the Philadelphia Phillies and the Miami Marlins under 3.5 first five. Get that done. Taijuan Walker gets his over and outs. Brewers, Rays, no run first inning. I don't even want to talk about it. We have 2 outs for 1 strike away, and we lose another one. We find new ways to lose for NRFI Nation. We're going to keep getting back after. We appreciate you guys always for tuning in. Podcast was live yesterday at 10 a.m. Definitely go check it out. We linked at the end of the video. Go check out that. But Logan, I know you want to talk about the Field of Dreams game. I know there's a lot of anticipation. What's your favorite pick for that game?
Yeah, so I'm not picking a side in the Field of Dreams game, but I am picking a total. We're going to the Cubs versus Reds game, as you guys know, and I'm taking the under 9 runs. So minus 110 odds on FanDuel is your value. Pretty standard for a total, full game total, right? You know, standard across the books. Now, as Austin mentioned, this is the Field of Dreams game, and it has a lot of hype to live up to because last year, oh man, I hope you guys were watching last year. It was the final score 9-8 last year with the Tim Anderson walk-off home run. It was an electric game. It was really cool. If you don't know about the Field of Dreams game, they play in a little cornfield and they come out of the corn and they have these throwback uniforms on. It's a really cool thing the MLB does. But do I think it's going to live up to the hype that it did last year? Absolutely not. Not with these two teams, unfortunately, right? Now, who's starting for the Cubs? We got Smiley starting for the Cubs. 0, 5, and 1 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. So, the 5 earned run sandwich in there is not very solid. But if you look at his road ERA, 4.5 road ERA, you're like, oh, Logan, that's a little bit high. I'm, trending towards the over. Yeah, but this pick is mostly banked on each of these offenses, which I have unfortunately watched with my eyes. Wish I didn't, but I do. Cincinnati's batting 207 during August. That's 28th in the MLB, and Cincinnati's also batting 212 versus lefties this month. And Smiley is a left-handed pitcher, so they're not hitting lefties all that well. They're not really batting all that well. I don't know how you pick the over just blindly based on these pitchers' ERAs maybe, but I don't see it because I've watched these offenses before. Now, starting for the Reds, it's Nick Lodolo, right? 3, 1, and 0 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. So a couple solid outings in the Lodolo's game logs. If you look at his road ERA, because this game is a neutral site game, so you technically are on the road for each of these. 8.49 ERA in 3 road games. That's high. Lodolo has a problem where he just puts on free base runners, with a lot of walks. I hope he's able to limit that for our under. If he is able to limit that, we'll be looking really solid on this. Now, Chicago hitting 0.075 versus lefties in the month of August. So they are not seeing left-handed pitchers well at all. Lodolo is a lefty. We got battle of the lefties today. Chicago also 24th in OPS in August. This is another back of the pack offense as is Cincinnati, and also Chicago Cubs. 19th in strikeouts on the road. Lodolo, if he's not walking people, he has a lot of good stuff, right? He has the put away pitches. If you look at his game logs, he has games of strikeouts of 5+ Ks. So he is able to, miss bats, and he is able to hopefully put these Cubs away. I mean, the fact that the Reds are favored, obviously, I think that they do expect a decent Lodolo showing at least, because it's not going to come in these bullpens. Like, both bullpens are bad, right? that's kind of how it's been on the year. So I'm banking on these starting pitchers to neither of them to be catastrophic. And then I also want to talk about both Cincinnati and the Chicago Cubs love stranding base runners. If you're a fan of either team, I don't need to tell you that. It's very frustrating to watch a team that just loves stranding runners in scoring position. They're 3rd and 4th, respectively, in their last 3 games in runners left in scoring position per game. That number is it's hovering around 4 runners left in scoring position per game, like average. So that's a lot of runs left on the board for these two teams. And that's why I am taking the under. I just haven't seen it with these 2 offenses consistently enough to trust them to pick the over. So that's why we're on the under. But Austin, what do we got for the day?
I feel like that pick is a little bit of a hedge on excitement because everyone wants a lot of runs in that game. And I just don't know if they're going to come with those two offenses. But if it is, if we're going to lose that one, it better be like an 18-run total game. At least have some sort of fun with it. But normally I do the hit streak here. We're not going to do a hit streak today. I keep taking L's due to guys getting walked 100 times. Jose Altuve, shout out to him for 2 walks yesterday. But my pick will be, I'm going to the White Sox-Royals game, and I'm doing an interesting one. We're taking the White Sox plus a half and the under 4.5 in the first 5 innings. If you go over to FanDuel, this is exactly what the bet will look like. Chicago White Sox plus a half, under 4.5, first half run line, total runs parlay. Now, we're getting great value on it. Plus 105, sign me up. And if you want to go take it, the best is available on FanDuel. It's under first half run line, total runs parlay. Now, if you don't have FanDuel, I would just lean towards taking the under 4.5 in the first 5 innings. I really like that bet, and you'll understand why. Now, Dylan Cease on the mound for the Chicago White Sox. I know a lot of people are going to be riding with Dylan Cease today. Good reason. 1.98 ERA. He's allowed 1 earned run or fewer in 10 straight starts. This guy's been absolutely dominant going up against a Royals team that, let's be honest, they traded away basically their best bats, Merrifield and Benintendi. And this last start versus Kansas City a couple months back, I believe back in June, 5.2 innings pitched. 0 earned runs, 9 Ks. He was able to navigate through that. And while we aren't necessarily asking him to pitch a complete gem, we don't need him. He could even give up 2 earned runs in this scenario, and we could still cash this bet. But I do think he's going to be pretty dialed in today. And we look who's starting for the Royals. Another pretty decent pitcher, the 38-year-old Zach Greinke. Look, he's been very well at home. If you want to bet him on the road, that's on you. But at home, he's been dominant. 2.23 home ERA, 1.07 whip at home. He's been a very different pitcher at home versus on the road. And look, the White Sox are going to be without arguably their best hitter, Tim Anderson. Guy that's always getting on base, always being annoying, stealing bases, always just being on the base pass, making it tough for the other pitcher. And look, Greinke won't have to worry about that. You look at the guys on the White Sox, they don't have great splits versus Greinke. No one batting like 600 versus him. Everyone around their normal averages or below. And the last time Greinke pitched versus the White Sox, 2 earned runs over 5 2/3 innings pitched. So he can give up 2 earned runs. I would absolutely love if it was just a 2-0 after 5 innings. But look, I'm fine with it. Greinke allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 8 of his last 9 home starts. Those are all of his home starts this year. In fact, his last home start was a game that he did allow 4 earned runs, and it was against the Red Sox. He could hypothetically do that today and allow 4 earned runs. The problem is we would need Cease to pitch an absolute gem and allow 0, which definitely is possible. So I really like this bet. Plus 105, getting White Sox plus 1.5, and then the under 4.5 runs in the first 5. It's a parlay. You have to pair them together. We need both legs to cash in those first 5 innings. But the value speaks for itself. I love it. Taking it plus 105. You can count on that. That's what we'll be taking. But Logan, it's tough to do this right now, but it's Nerf Nation time, baby. We've been suffering as bad as L's as I think you possibly could suffer. And you know what? We're 1 or 2 L's from taking the weekend off. And you know what? We're going to get into it today. Now, we don't mind Logan and I's official picks if you want to take those Nerfies, but you know the rule. We don't double dip. The last time we double dipped, we got ruined by an error, and it cost the Marlins probably covering the run line. Today, we're going to go to the Tigers-Guardians game, an early start. We're taking the no-run first inning, plus 100 on FanDuel. Look, can't argue with the value. Getting even odds, plus 100. Look, sign us up. Now, let's look at who's on the mound. We got Hill for the Tigers. Look, 5-1 on NRFIs this year. He's faced some good offenses, been able to navigate through it, and he's already NRFI'd versus Guardians lineup. Only gave up 2 hits over 6 innings pitched. So he's dominated them before. That was his actually first ever career start was against this Guardians lineup. We know they have some talented bats with Ahmed Rosario and Jose Ramirez up there, but look, I think he can get through it. You look at Cleveland, 10th in first inning runs, despite having those guys with great batting averages at the top of the helm. So, Mr. Hill, give me 3 outs. Who's on the mound for the Guardians today, Logan?
Yeah, we got Plesac pitching for the Guardians. 14-6 on Nerfies this year, so pretty solid numbers for Plesac. He's shown the ability to be able to get it done if he's not walking people. But you know what? This is an indictment against Detroit. Detroit 27th in first inning runs. A lot of batters in that top half of the order swing at bad pitches. Young guys, understandable, right? Detroit also 4-game Nerfy streak, over under set to 8.5. There's a lot of signs that are pointing us to the Nerfy in this one for the value too, right? Like if we're gonna take an L, it better be at least in the name of value's sake, because oh man, I can't take another dagger to the heart with a Nerfy that I just truly like. I was like, these are locks. Yeah, well, they're not. Then there's nothing in a lock and in a Nerfy. But you know what? We still get back on the horse and fly our flags because this is what we do.
Absolutely. Mr. Jeffrey Springs allowed 2 earned runs, all of them yesterday. And yeah, they both came in the first inning, which is tough. But we're going to keep riding the Nerfies. We've been so profitable on this year. We owe it to you guys to keep riding strong. We can't have as bad of a run as we did at the end of May. We certainly, if you were there, you would understand what I mean. But moving into our parlay of the day, Look, there's not a lot of games to choose from, so I'm double dipping my Royals, White Sox, just taking the under 4.5 in the first 5 innings. I'm taking the Red Sox money line plus 210. You can find out exactly why we like both legs on Odds Jam. Definitely check that out. But hopefully we can bring out the brooms. We've been really, navigating the broom. We want to bring that out. Hopefully we can do that tomorrow on Friday. Have something to celebrate. We'll see you guys then. Peace.